The RAD podcast is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised. The RAD podcast is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, I am Paul the Hat Guy Flinders, and welcome to this week's edition of the RAD podcast, the Random Ass Discussion podcast. And this week we have Alan Morrison.
Hello.
And Darren Truby.
Hello.
How have your weeks been since the last podcast?
Alright. Been at work.
Nice, just fuck all basically, like just a normal week really.
A normal week. Just chugging along. Nothing major.
And nothing wrong with that. What about you, Darren?
Well, it's been a long 2 weeks actually. So I unfortunately had this thing called a job and I couldn't get out of it.
Oh.
So I couldn't do the podcast.
Anything happened in those 2 weeks?
Not much, no. Not much really.
Quiet one. Our car today decided it wanted to shit itself. So we basically went to the garage today, and basically it was the equivalent of telling somebody it had a terminal illness. It's not good. So yeah, right before Christmas, and your car decides it wants to kick the bucket. Fantastic. So yeah, happy joy days.
Well, on that note, I got my bike back and it's all working as well. So
it's all right for some, innit?
Yeah. Time on it and everything, so happy.
Oh, cat's pestering me now already. 1 minute into the podcast, it's already butting my feet. So yeah, great week. So so shall we just get straight into the random ass discussion for this week? Let's get straight into it. So I'm just thinking has any of you seen the Walking Dead, the premiere of the season 7 of Walking Dead?
Last Walking Dead I ever watched was season 2. It has gone shit.
I've got to kind of agree with Alan on this. I've not watched it since, say, season 2. I always want to. There's been better programs out there.
Yeah, I get that, because there is a lot of programming out there for people that are into like watching serialized things rather than movies. Like, for example, Arrow and Gotham and all that. Flash, yeah.
Luke Cage.
Yeah, the list's endless.
Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, the list's absolutely endless. But I personally am not really into watching so much TV. The only things I really religiously watch are Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead. So obviously I caught the season 7 premiere for the Walking Dead, and I was expecting one guy to go, but I wasn't expecting. But I'm assuming you both know what happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be as brutal. Well, I was expecting it to be as brutal, but I seem to be the only person that wasn't exactly grossed out by it. People was like going, "Oh my god, I must cry my eyes out. Glenn has died." But I was honestly thinking, you know what? I was expecting it to be brutal, but I was expecting it to be more brutal.
Yeah.
I think that's just our mentality growing up in Blackpool, isn't it, Alan?
Close enough.
Yeah, you see on it.
Funny enough, I did actually say that the other day when I said, it's just what happens in Blackpool.
Yeah, on a day-to-day basis, unfortunately. You go around Blackpool town centre on a, 12 o'clock on a Saturday night, and, you're more likely to see what looks like the remainder of Glenn's head. But you could also, to be fair, it could also be the remnants of somebody's kebab. So, because it did kind of look that way after the end of it.
Yeah.
But there was a couple of memes that I saw floating about Glenn's death. The one that probably made me laugh the most was the one where it had what's his name out of the Goonies? Sloth. It is Sloth, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sloth. A picture of Sloth there, and it said, "Maggie, I will find you."
There you go.
Well, funny enough, have you seen the one about she says okay or something, and then above picture or below picture is him, the actor that plays Negan in Batman. He's actually he's Thomas Wayne. So, and she said okay, and she finds him, and then there's like she kills him in like a different universe, kind of thing. Well, which I thought was funny because a Gotham fan.
Speaking of the character Maggie, there was actually apparently to stop people spoiling who was going to receive an end of Lucille. Apparently there was a lot of alternate kills filmed, and one got leaked, and it was Maggie was one of the leaked ones. So like I say, nothing was sacred. I mean, like it.
No.
It would hit home more than that because obviously in the story she's pregnant as well at the time.
Yeah.
So I could understand why they didn't pick that. But Abraham, he was, if you're going by the comics, he was past due being killed anyway. Because I can tell, Alan. I can tell. Shall we move on then, seeing as you really couldn't give a flying fuck about The Walking Dead?
Well, if we're going to talk about TV series, I came across a cracking one on Sunday, which I had no idea why I've never picked it up before. It's called Killjoys.
Okay.
All right, you ever heard of it?
I'll be honest with you, I haven't.
All right.
Is that the one on Sci-Fi?
It is. It's one on Sci-Fi. Basically, story goes, it's based around these 4 planets in another galaxy far, far away. And you're following a band of mercenaries who are basically contract bounty hunters. So they go off and do go and arrest or bring in the person who's out for a wanted and all that. And you got your 3 main characters. 2 of them are brothers. One of them's the leader, who's the main actress. She's absolutely stunning, by the way, worth looking up. And
Google images.
I'm sat there, first season, watched it all, and I just dawned on me. It says it's basically Firefly. The way everything is panned out, the way it's written, how it's played, it's basically an updated version of Firefly, and it's absolutely freaking fantastic. Thoroughly enjoyed watching it. It was such a good show. Worth looking for that.
At the risk of being beaten with a long, hard stick. I watched the first episode of Firefly a few years ago, and I think Alan's fist is already clenching now because
I'm going to hurt you in a minute.
Yeah, because I didn't enjoy it.
Oh,
I genuinely, it wasn't my thing. It wasn't my thing at all.
Firefly is amazing.
Oh, I could understand why people would enjoy it. Don't get me wrong; it's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I was very, very surprised because I thought it was Sunday. So, most now, I work in a bar. I finished work at 1:30. Didn't go home till 2. Didn't get to sleep till 4. And I was up again at 6. And I was absolutely knackered. So it was like, fuck this. I'm having a day of just me, the bed, the TV. So went on demand, went on to the Sci-Fi, thinking, right, what can I find? Some form of film. I was thinking, I'll put, a cheesy B-movie on.
Yeah.
Sort of sci-fi film. So I just came across that. I just went, I've seen it advertised. It does generally look like a great show. So I started watching it, and that was it. I was hooked. 10 episodes, back to back. Smashed it, first season. And unfortunately, Virgin Media are a bunch of tosspots. They're only put on, right, for some reason, they put on the whole first season of Killjoys, right, but only put on the last 2 episodes of season 2. Where's the watching that.
So that completely spoils the whole of season 2 for you.
Yeah, but I haven't touched it because I went, right, I'll wait. Season 3 comes out. Season 2 is going to fully appear. I'll be just work off, back the season like that.
For sci-fi, sorry, Alan, go on. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
Yeah, but it was like, well, why? That makes no sense. Stupid people.
Do sci-fi series like that and Firefly and all that have like special websites that you can go to, which have like lists of sci-fi series, and you can click on them and you can have the whole seasons one, like you can stream
for it.
Yeah,
I'm not talking Netflix or anything because I'm just trying to relate to something that I'm watching at the minute. Last week we mentioned that my favourite anime was Naruto.
Yeah.
Now I'm currently watching it through again from the beginning, and I've managed to get myself in a week up to episode 55. And it's on. You can look on a website. For example, the one that I was given was AnimeGogo.io. Yeah. And it has a list of a load of animes. I mean, you think of an anime, it's there. And you can watch it from the first episode to the last episode. And I'm just wondering if there's stuff like that for sci-fi fans.
There is, but it's... you've got it. It's like a subscription. You've got to pay for it, which is really irritating, especially, us, pirate bait.
No, perfectly legitimate sources, you mean, Alan? Yeah, not Putlocker. Not Putlocker. Sorry.
But as I says, there's loads of websites like Crunchyroll, but the problem with Crunchyroll and websites like that is unless you pay the premium, it's going to be adverts.
Oh God, I discussed this. I discussed this last week when I said I've signed up to Crunchyroll and to watch Shippuden. I will eventually get the premium because I do like the idea of being able to play it from PlayStation 4, no questions asked, and just go back there. We go, and it's in high definition.
It's on the Xbox One as well. So.
Yeah. You can it's on 360. It's on all sorts. If you've got a PS3 or an Xbox 360, even you can still get you can still get the service from Crunchyroll. But what I'm thinking is, because I'll be watching the pre-Shippuden Naruto via, this legitimate website. And I'll be watching Shippuden through Crunchyroll. Because they have got Shippuden on there, Naruto Shippuden, but they don't have the when Naruto was growing up sort of thing. So it's just that's what I'll be doing. I'll be getting the premium on that way anyway.
Yeah.
So because between every 5 and 10 minutes there's an advert, and it's not just one advert; it's 2 or 3, and it just gets aggravating. It's like I'm watching adverts with a sprinkle of Naruto in between.
Yeah, I had noticed that. I borrowed my sister-in-law's Sky Go because unfortunately with Virgin you don't get Sky Atlantic. Major downside when I'm like one of the biggest Game of Thrones fans known to man.
Aye.
So I watch it through that. They put adverts on, but it's like I think you get 3 of 2-minute adverts.
That's not too bad.
So it's all right, but Crunchyroll and places and stuff like that, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
adverts to put in.
It's like I watched Rhino Horn adverts with a sprinkle of Naruto Shippuden. I just thought, fuck this shit. I'd rather just turn it off and look at the black. I look at a black screen.
Yeah, I do have some other news as well. Well, isn't really breaking news as everyone knew about it. God knows for how long. It's just been finally decided. Donald Glover is playing Lando Calrissian in the new Han Solo spin-off film.
I'm going to have to take a back seat on this one because I know nothing on this.
I will say this.
He's an up-and-coming actor. He's been in quite a lot. I'm not too sure what he's been in, but apparently...
Have you ever seen Community?
Yes.
It's a TV program. I used to watch it quite a lot. It's amazing. It's like 20-minute shows, roughly in the vein like, Big Bang and and like How I Met Your Mother, and those kind of things. But it was just about a community college, and it carried on, and it got cancelled last year, and then all the actors left. Chevy Chase was in it, and Donald Glover, amazing actor in that, really good.
Yeah, so it was like loads of websites and Facebook groups have put pictures of what's his name, who played the original Lando Calrissian, and Donald Glover, and by God, they look so similar. Which is a good thing, really, because you don't want a brand new, completely different actor going in and going, oh, by the way, Lando Calrissian's, Asian. And stuff like that. So, yeah, similarities are good. I'm looking forward to it. They announced the guy who plays Han Solo a few months back, but for the love of me, I can't remember his name. But, yeah, he's a very, very young-looking Harrison Ford-style character, actor, so that's quite good.
Well, the looks help, don't they, I suppose, if you're going for that.
Well, you could say that when they did, the regen of Star Trek. The guy who played the new Spock, I would not have million years, because I'm a massive fan of Heroes, and he was in Heroes. And I just looked at him and he looks nothing like him. Give him the bowl cut haircut and the pointy ears. Like, holy shit, he's identical to what's wow.
Yeah. I've got to agree with that one, yeah.
All right, so we'll move on to like a little local story that I saw today. Well, I've known about it. It was posted, funny enough, on one of the Blackpool selling sites before it got picked up by the Gazette. But there was a story about some kids that got left at the tram stop.
You what?
Somewhere in Fleetwood, or towards Fleetwood, in between Fleetwood and Cleveland's.
I was going to say Fleetwood. That explains everything.
They were trying to get off the... Was it getting off the tram? They were getting off the tram. Yeah, the missus, backing me up on this one. They were getting off the tram, and our two kids got off, a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old. Now, bear in mind, the 10-year-old's also got ADHD, right? And I'm assuming the mum was trying to get off the tram as well. But she got stuck on the tram with a 2-year-old trying to get off the tram, and the tram went off and carried on to the next stop, leaving these two kids on the platform.
Wow.
Apparently, Blackpool Transport are
in the shit.
In the shit and investigating. So
I've heard about this. Yeah.
That tram driver's guy's job's gone.
The thing is, is it
a guy?
How do you know it's a guy, you sexist?
Yeah. Definitely sounds like a woman.
I use guy as a generic term. Yeah, I just am American on your ass, bitches.
Oh, so my nickname is very gender non-specific. I like it.
Sorry, what's the new saying called? Gender non-binary. No, that's the actual, the proper full title for it.
Oh, Alan's now a menace.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
I only know this because I watched a video at work today about it.
Alan's now a menace.
So basically, they got off.
These two kids got off the tram first, and obviously, by the sounds of it, the mum was trying to sort the 2-year-old to get off the tram. Now, if the 2-year-old's like anything like my 2-year-old, they won't want to get off a tram. No. They want to stay on the choo-choo. But he didn't want... obviously, the mum wanted to get off the choo-choo, and the 2-year-old didn't want to get off the choo-choo. So what happens is the conductor gets possibly a little bit confused, thinks everyone's off the tram, even though there's two fucking unsupervised kids on the platform, and just says, right, ding, ding, let's go.
I think it's funny. I actually genuinely think it's funny.
I would love to know, like I say, how she didn't find the emergency stop. Because they have an emergency stop for these sorts of situations, whether it's like an emergency or...
Stops, they're not exactly hard to find either.
No, this is it. If you think, right, blind panic, oh my God, what am I going to do? Emergency stop. You're going to think, oh my God, my kids are on their platform. Whatever shall I do? Stop the tram. Has she never seen a Bond film where, they need to stop the train, all of a sudden they get the emergency stop? She never seen that?
You've not seen a Bond movie?
You've not seen a Bond movie?
She's not seen a Bond movie.
She's not seen a Bond movie,
all
you
right,
said.
I thought talk about him.
Oh, no.
I've not seen a Bond movie.
Oh, I was going to unfriend you then.
I'll be honest with you, I've not seen the last two.
What?
I haven't seen the last two. I've seen all the others up to that point, but I've not seen the last two Bond films.
Oh, I'll tell you what, you need to watch Spectre. Spectre is absolutely brilliant. By far one of the greatest Bond movies ever made.
See, it's funny you should say that, but I've got a service user that I look after who's 84 years old. If you guys didn't know, by the way, I work in the care sector. Won't say what I do and who I work for, keep it confidential, but there's a gentleman that I work with, and he went to the cinema. Now, he's dead cynical when it comes to his films and things like that, but he said even Spectre was good. So I owe it to myself to go and watch it.
Yeah, Skyfall's good, but Spectre was just outstanding. It was absolutely brilliant.
I'll give it a whirl. When I've got a few minutes spare, I'll give it a whirl and see how it is, and then I'll give you a review. Speaking of films, got myself a couple of new Poundland buys this week.
Hey.
That guy's Poundland Palaver. Yeah, I managed to find myself 2 cracking DVDs, or sorry, 3 for the £2, shall I say. Managed to get myself, can't remember what they're fucking called now. I managed to find Predator. I managed to find Predator 1 and 2.
Bargain.
On DVD in the same pack. So it was a double pack, Predator 1 and Predator 2. And I also managed to get the original Die Hard movie. Which means now... which means I have now managed to get myself Die Hard 1, 2 and 3 from Poundland. 2 of them being special 2-disc editions.
Brilliant.
Please say that you're going to be watching Die Hard on Christmas.
It's a Christmas film, why not?
It is. It's
one of
the best Christmas films ever made.
Yeah, ho, 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 now I have a machine gun. I don't know if I want that as my Christmas jumper this year.
Ho, ho, ho.
But I've also seen
machine gun.
I've also seen another Christmas jumper that I want. Please tell me at least one of you are a fan of Bottom.
Yeah.
Gold, Frankenstein and Gurr. I need that as my Christmas jumper. So I'm debating about it. So we shall see, and I will update you when I know.
Christmas jumper. Morty Christmas jumper. Oh, there's loads on Facebook at the moment, and they're fantastic. It's the season to get swifty.
Funny enough, right? I was talking about Christmas the other day, and I said that this time of year is the only time you see Halloween gear on the left side, and on the right side you see Christmas gear. That's a typical pound. That's how Poundland think.
Do you know what people are missing?
A pound shop, should I say?
Do you know what people are missing?
Pound shops are available.
You know what people are missing a trick here when you say that, because obviously the Christmas gear is out at the same time as Halloween. Why the fuck has nobody dressed up as a murderous Santa for Halloween?
Loads of
you
them.
mean like
I've done it.
Futurama.
I've never seen it.
Dude, I've done it.
It needs to happen. It needs to happen more often. Because I have not seen it.
Have you not seen the episode Futurama where they actually have bad Santa?
No, I haven't.
It's not a good Santa. It's actually a bad Santa.
No, I haven't seen it. I've seen the first 2 seasons of Futurama, and I don't know why I never got around to watching anymore. But yeah, I do. I will acknowledge Futurama is a fucking great program. As opposed to Simpsons, that was great, 15 years ago.
Still is.
It's fucking awful. It's old and tired.
No, they've released new seasons.
Oh yeah, I'm not denying the increasing content, but and the releasing it. But there's releasing content and actually being good. There's a difference. But yeah, speaking of Poundland buys and Poundland, creepy Death Santas and things like that.
There are other Poundland chaps available.
Yep, Pound World. We're going to announce now that we are challenging the lost art of podcasting to a little event, a sort of challenge, if you will. We have this, after a bit of discussion, because Coxie likes his Poundland gubbins, we decided we're going to do the Christmas Crap Sack Challenge. And the rules are, all the stuff must be bought from either a Pound World or a Poundland. That includes the stocking it comes in. The budget is £5, including your stocking. And that is it. You can fill it up with whatever you want in them pound shops, as long as it doesn't go over £5. And the best one wins, basically.
See, we've got a problem with this.
Go on.
Right? There's 3 of us and 1 of them.
Well, this is it. There isn't 3 of us and 3 of them. There are 3 of us and there's 3 of them. So
okay.
what we're going to do is we're all going to get our own crap sack.
Yeah.
We are all going to have an independent adjudicator who is yet to be, hired, shall we say. They can have all the Toblerone they want from Poundland. They can have all the Toblerone they want from Poundland in payment.
It has to be Matt.
What's that? We have a Matt.
Yeah, no, it has to be Matt.
We could hire the price. We could hire the price.
It'll work.
If he's up for it, we shall see. But yeah, there's 3. There is 3 of them. Whether 3 of them do it is yet to be seen. But we have 3 of us. We all get a crap sack each. And I'd say the most people who out of one in the top 3. So, for example, if we get first and third, we would win. If they get first and third, they would win. So, say for example, so if there's 3 of us in the top 3, if 2 of them are lost art of podcasting, they win. If it's 2 RAD, we win. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we just need to find an adjudicator to do it, and we've decided that the challenge is going to start on the 1st of December.
I'm game for this.
Yeah, I'm up for this. What about you, Darren?
Yeah.
So, without using the N word, Coxie, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
Do you accept, Coxie? Let us know. So yeah, the Christmas Crap Sack Challenge coming soon to a Poundland near you. So we'll move on from there. How about a little bit of motorsport talk, Alan?
Yeah.
There's a few bits and nuggets of things, but first we'll go on with the mainstream one. US Grand Prix. Did you watch it?
I did not. I was at work.
Oh, I watched it after I got in from work. So I stayed up to watch it.
Tell a lie. I didn't see any of the qualifiers because I was at work.
I didn't see quali.
The race because I was watching Killjoys.
Ah, fair play. Fair play. But I watched it after work on Sunday night. Got to say, first 10 laps was absolutely crazy.
Would surprise me because it's such a random course.
It's the best track on the calendar, mate, if I'm honest. Best all-round track on the calendar. It's got a bit of everything. It's got a bit of everything on that racetrack, which is why it was built the way it was.
I quite like Mexico's.
Mexico's is a nerf version of the old 90s track.
I like it.
It's okay, don't get me wrong. The bowl's not there anymore. No,
they use the baseball stadium.
Yeah, it's called the baseball stadium. It's not actually a baseball stadium. It goes in through a gap in the grandstand that comes around itself partway through the old last corner. But it's not. That's what I mean by this. So they don't use the bowl. They cut it in half and nerfed it. But they had to though, because if modern F1 cars try and go around the that corner at the speeds that they're capable of doing, there's going to be a huge accident around there, and they had to nerf it.
Yeah, I still like the course.
Oh, it's a good track. Don't get me wrong, but that's the next Grand Prix, I think. I believe this weekend.
It is, yeah.
But
Suzuka, isn't it?
No, Suzuka's been and gone, mate.
Has it? Oh.
It's
proved how much out of touch I am with the Formula One this year.
Yeah, you got the Mexican, then it's Brazilian, and then it's Abu Dhabi, and that is it.
I quite like Abu Dhabi's.
Abu Dhabi's okay. It's double points, I think. Oh no, it's not double points this year.
No,
it's not double points. Thank fuck, I just ruined it. But US Grand Prix, it was okay for the first 10 laps, and then it just got dull as fuck unless your name's Fernando Alonso. He just decided, no one else is racing. Fuck it, yeehaw, I'm going for it. So that's what he did. He managed to overtake. Jenson Button managed to overtake 9 cars on the first lap. Don't know how he did it.
Though he always does it. It's always one race every season where he just absolutely dominates the course.
Yeah, and then he managed to get from 9th. He only finished 9th, but let's be honest though, he did start I think he started 19th in a car which was not that competitive.
Who was it last? Was it last year? Year before? They started at the rear. They came third.
I wouldn't be shocked if that was a Mercedes. I think it was Hamilton.
Yeah, it was.
Oh no, it couldn't have been Hamilton.
It had like one of the greatest runs ever. Yeah,
it would probably been a Merc or a Ferrari, one or the other. But other than that, like I say, the first 10 laps were great. Other than that, it was an absolute snorefest. The only exception to the rule was Kimi Räikkönen. Now, Kimi Räikkönen, as if you're into motorsport, is a general guy that tends to not give a single flying fuck what anyone thinks. I wouldn't be shocked if he's actually got into an F1 car drunk before. That's how he is. Now, what he decided to do, the Ferrari crew decided, not decided, they accidentally didn't manage to get his left rear tyre on properly, and it was hanging off, and he got halfway up through the pit lane, going up onto the racetrack, and then realised what the fuck was going on, had to stop the car. On a hill, might I add.
Yeah.
And because, obviously, he couldn't get the car into neutral, he tried to roll, he decided, do you know what, to try and get this problem fixed, I'll roll backwards into the pit lane. So he decided, turn the engine off, and just free-rolled the car backwards into mechanics, might I add. He nearly hit the Sauber pit crew. But unfortunately, he stopped short and had to retire the car because his wheel was hanging off. But any other person, the funny thing is, though, he can't be fined for it, and he can't have a penalty for it. Do you know why?
Go on.
His engine wasn't on.
Fair point.
He's not actually if you put your car into reverse gear in the pit lane, it's an automatic black flag, you're disqualified. But because he didn't put the engine on and didn't put the car into reverse, there's a loophole in the rules that says he can't be penalised.
Genius.
Absolute genius. But because he didn't get far enough and he can't push a car backwards up the pit lane, Kimi
Räikkönen's one of these. You see him as he is. You literally get what you get.
Yeah.
The amount of times over the radio they're telling him to how to drive. And
shut up! I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, shut up! I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this longer than you guys have been in that pit lane. So it was just like, right, I love him, and he's so straight to the point. It's like it's like if he ever gets podium, he gets questioned. He's like, "Yeah, I raced. It was good."
This is the thing. I think personally this year he's been driving better than Vettel. Vettel's a great driver. That's the thing. He's good when he's in front. That's the problem. If he's on a bit of a handicap and a bit of a downer, he doesn't show up, which is what has happened this year because the Ferrari's been the third best car this year. So it means he's having to push the car, and he's not, shall we say, getting the most out of the package because he's better out front, controlling a race and trying to force the issue, which Kimi Räikkönen's always been able to do.
And he's I think there's 2 other drivers I say in the last 15 years have been absolutely amazing for overtaking and defensive driving and attacking. Is Jenson Button being one of them. Yeah,
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, Kimi Räikkönen and Sergio Perez.
I don't rate Perez.
I know you don't, but I think he's amazing. When he goes on one, he goes on one. He has the odd good race here and now and again, but so did Olivier Panis.
Yeah, but so did Olivier Panis. But Olivier Panis, I think, personally, this year has been driving better than Vettel. I think So, it's one of them. It's just, it depends. I'm yet to be convinced, but the problem is he's been in F1 now for nearly about 6 years. Yeah. So I'm not convinced, man. I don't think there's going to be much time. He's stuck in limbo. He's not good enough to be the top driver, but he's not crap enough to be let go off the grid.
Yeah.
So it's just one of them. Going on to the next bit of news that we've got, which is sort of breaking today, is Audi pulling out of the WEC at the end of this season. Now, we said last week that they were pulling out at the end of next season, but Audi have decided they're going to pull out a season early.
Yeah, I was just actually reading about this earlier on. The more committed to the Formula E's. That's you happy. But they're saying they're more committed to that than they are doing for the LMPs.
But I would actually disagree with your statement there, saying I'd be happy about it. I'm actually kind of very concerned about what's going to happen with the World Endurance Championships, or at least the very sharp end of the grid. Because if you follow the World Endurance Championships that much, or know what it is, it's a group. Basically, it's 4 races running at the same time. You've got your LMP1 class, which is your fastest class, LMP2s, then you've got your GT cars, which look like road cars, which are it's your GT Pros, which are basically your full-time race drivers, and then you've got your slowest class, which is your GT Pro-Am, which is you've got one professional driver, and then you've got like what's known as a gentleman driver, which buy their seats. Now, the problem with this is you've got a healthy entry of Pro-Ams, you've got a healthy entry of GT cars, and I think you've got like 12 GT LMP2 cars now, haven't we, Alan?
Yeah.
Every race.
They've been halved.
Yeah, the LMP2's healthy, mate. They're actually getting Rebellion next year, so there's going to be at least 13 LMP2 cars on the grid.
Here's with Audi disappearing, that leaves a massive gap. Now, you can have Red Bull stepping in here and goes, right, we want to introduce our own motors, same as Monster. And think of the sponsorship Monster does at the moment. They touch all your the extreme hoonigans, like Ken Block, also your US and your Japanese drifting kings. All right, not only your drags, they also do the off-road truck racing.
You see, this is where I'm going to disagree with you, Alan, because endurance racing isn't about getting a burst of energy and doing something at a really high octane, really quick, quick as you can. Endurance,
which I fully understand, but at the same time, here's something they can branch into.
Yeah, it's for me though. Like I say, it doesn't fit the image per se. Now, obviously, Red Bull have a massive motor racing background, and if anything, the motor racing branch is almost as big as the energy drink branch now. But what I was trying to get at before is, like I say, the LMP1 class is absolutely decimated by this announcement, because literally you've got, I think you've got a race at Shanghai and a race in Bahrain, and that is it for the for the World Endurance Championships now. I think there might be another one. I can't remember if there is, but that is it now for Audi. And then when they leave, you've got 2 Porsches, 2 Toyotas, and a Bicolis, which never even finishes. So that is it. That's your LMP1 class.
Unless Nissan steps up.
Well, this is what I was getting at. I had a conversation on Facebook before regarding this. Now, I said, why can't this? Obviously, Nissan have got the remnants of the ill-fated GT LMP1 that they took to Le Mans in 2015. Me and you were absolutely drooling over it, if you remember.
The drooling, that car is beautiful.
Yeah, but the problem was it was faulty because they couldn't get the hybrid to run in it properly. So what they decided to do was just run it on a non-hybrid, and knew for the fact that they were going to be sitting ducks, which is what they did. Now they've obviously they shelved it at the end of last year, but obviously it's only been shelved. It's not it's not all the plans are obviously still going to be there. There's a position now on the grid where a manufacturer could come in, which is not related to VW. That could, it's safer ground to come in because you're less likely to be blown off the track now by these major teams.
Ford?
Well, Ford, I was thinking about possibly could take a step up, but they've only just committed into spending millions into the GT class because they've got the GT Pro team, haven't they?
Yeah.
Of the GT cars, so they can't. I hate saying GT so much, but cars are actually called Ford GTs. So, but yeah, I can't see them coming in. Other than that, the only ones I can think of, other than Nissan, would potentially be BMW. Reason being, they're obviously going into doing the GT class, and they said they're going to do the GT class. Now there's a gap at the front for a LMP1 team. They could potentially scale up their involvement and potentially run an LMP1 team.
Yeah, or we could have Volvo. That car would be indestructible.
What about Mazda? Could you imagine Mazda coming back?
That's if they want to spend the money to do it.
Well, Mazda are a big company. They're owned by Ford.
Could.
The money's there. Why couldn't Ford, like you say, Ford have a sort of like back name there? You have the team there, but use the Mazda as the name, because the Mazda's a famous name at Le Mans for winning the damn thing.
Exactly, and they've got Laguna Seca as the sponsor track.
The test track, you mean?
Yeah, no, they're sponsored. They
sponsor the racetrack, yeah, the Mazda Raceway it's called.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think who else could jump into the LMP1. I don't think there's really...
There's quite a lot.
There is quite a lot, but I'm struggling to think of non-VW based teams that could.
Well, you've got Renault, Peugeot, Citroën.
Well, Peugeot have been in it not that long ago. I can't see them coming back so soon.
Well, I don't know. There's an opening there. They don't have an Audi they have to face up to. They'll go, oh, we've got a gap here. We could do something.
Yeah, I suppose they could do. I'm just trying to think who else. I'm thinking more Vauxhall. Jesus.
A Vauxhall Cavalier flying around it.
Fuck's sake. How about fucking Lardo while we're at it?
Oh, I tell you what, if they... Oh, Larders. There's a car you haven't seen in a very long time.
They're in the world touring cars, and they have actually won a race.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're not much cop. But yeah, I'm slightly concerned for the future of WEC. Eh?
Hyundai.
Yeah, they've got their hands full with the World Rally Championship, haven't they? So I never know. We'll have to see what happens next year. But I'm hoping to. I might be a bit short. I'm thinking it'll probably be a bit too short notice unless your name's Nissan to jump into that void now. But I can see it coming now that they're going to be asking to field 3 cars.
Yeah,
just to fill the spot for now, and possibly we'll see maybe even a privateer team coming and buying some old Audis, perhaps, because maybe they might buy this year's there'll be X-Works Audi LMP1 cars, and obviously you've got a few drivers there without drives now.
Yeah,
like the likes of Andre Lotterer and Lucas Di Grassi, who are good drivers, and it would be a shame to lose them off the grid. But I can obviously see possibly even someone like Manor stepping up and being privateer and say, look, we'll take them old Audis off you and run them as privateers.
Yeah.
So I can see that happening, obviously, because they're old cars and they don't really... Saying that, there is a bit of a rule change, I think, for next season, so maybe, I don't know. Maybe that'll happen, maybe. Well, obviously, if it's a privateer team and they're coming and buying the old cars, they're going to have to adapt the old cars to fit the new rules. So possibly, I don't know. It depends. It's going to be someone with a lot of clout if someone does come in anyway, financially.
Oh, before we disappear off the World Endurance, Paul shared a picture this morning about the new...
Orica. The Orica LMP2 car, absolutely drool-worthy.
It is very, very pretty.
Let me try and...
It should be in green.
Alan thinks it should be in green. Now, what I can only describe... I'll share it on the group anyway to subsidise this podcast. But what it basically is, it's like a carbon grey black sort of the colour with like what can only describe as circuit board like motifs spattered about on the car in like a turquoisey blue colour with the race numbers in a turquoisey blue colour. Now, Alan seems to think that look better in a lime green
Well, or a circuit board green.
Or circuit board green. I personally think no, because it doesn't fit the identity of the team. Because obviously, when you see green, you think of when you're in racing cars. When you see a green car, you think it's either going to be British or Irish. But obviously, if you're not into your motorsport, you're not going to know. Orica's a French team. Now, the French racing colour is normally like a blue.
Yeah, it's like a sky blue with yellow.
Yeah, which fits, obviously, the colour scheme that they're going for with Orica, with the light blue. To be fair, it's like a turquoisey blue, but it's a fairly like a dark bluey grey colour sort of thing, isn't it?
Mm.
So anyway, you'll see the picture anyway on the group when I post it. But yeah, it looks nice. It's officially going to be my favourite car in LMP2 anyway.
No, the Nissan from 2 years ago. That car won my life.
Guys, sorry to interrupt you, Julian, over the F1, but I've just seen this meme on Facebook.
F1?
And
no.
It's a Walking Dead meme. You know, when they've got Carl and the kid, whatever it is. Yeah.
I think I know which one this is.
Carl, when Maggie's baby is born, whatever you do, don't say it has Glenn's eyes.
The Popeye that's good.
I saw that one. Say, Carl, what was Glenn's favourite restaurant? Popeyes. Oh, God almighty. Anyway, on that note, we're going to have a very brief break, and then we'll get on with listener questions.
Hi, I'm Coxie, better known as the host of the Lost Art of Podcasting. We cover reviews, opinions, listener-submitted topics, even interview special guests with our own odd sense of humour thrown in. You can listen to us on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, even Castbox, whatever that is. For more information, find us on Facebook by searching Lost Art of Podcasting. Follow us on Twitter at Lost Art Podcast. So join us, shall you? And now it's back to Paul and the guys for some random ass discussion.
Hi, welcome back to the RAD podcast. We're going to kick off the second half with a little bit of wrestling talk. Going old school. First, well, the only bit of wrestling we're going to really talk about, because I'm going to be honest with you, I've not really watched much WWE recently. Nothing really drawing me back into it. The only thing that's really interested me at the minute is a little bit of the James Ellsworth stuff.
Yeah, that is quite funny.
Yeah, it's people cheering for an underdog, isn't it? And everyone can relate to being to underdogs. We've all been there. We've all been on, like, shit, we're going up against somebody who's infinitely better / tougher / bigger than we are. So we can all relate to that, which is why I think a lot of people are gravitating towards James Ellsworth to the point where he's like the third biggest merch seller in the company at the minute.
Yeah, but you got to think, right? He's doing a good job, but it's like a bad job, and it's like, well, why do you want to cheer for him when they're doing Santana Marella again? Where he's crap, that he's good.
Let me put it this way. Say, for example, you have a team that we all don't support, Arsenal. Yeah? You have Arsenal Football Club, and they get drawn in the FA Cup against someone like, I don't know. I'd actually go worse than them.
Worse than them?
Well, not worse than them, it's in the lower division.
Right there.
Oh, no. I think
Sorry, Phil. Phil. We just lost a viewer.
I was going to say Fleetwood Town.
Manchester United.
Worse than them, right? Yeah, right.
But yeah, I'd say for example, Arsenal get drawn in the FA Cup against someone like Fleetwood Town. How many more people are going to be backing Fleetwood and say, come on, Fleetwood? It's because people can relate to going up against somebody who's tougher, or they've got no chance of beating said person, but they give it their all anyway. And that's what the James Ellsworth storyline's all about. That's why he's saying if I've got two hands, you never give up, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? That's the only thing that seems to be, interesting me at the minute in mainstream wrestling. But what I wanted to talk about, sorry, just having a drink. What I wanted to talk about was the more local scene that we have at the minute. The PCW Fright Night. Now, yeah, I believe, Darren, you're going to this event at the end of this, in 2 days' time.
I certainly am.
Yeah.
I will be dressing as a escaped prisoner with chains and all.
Nice. So we'll quickly run down the card. I have my book with all the wrestling results in it for the past year and a bit because I run something called the PCW Prediction League. So it means I have every single result written down since the 4th anniversary show, actually. Funny enough, so that's been well over a year. But yeah, I've got the card written down in front of me anyway. The first match that I've got written down is Chris Masters versus Leston Rees. What do you think, Darren?
Well, Chris Masters, seen him loads of times, really big fan of his, but Leston Rees is the champion, so you would levitate to him and be Leston Rees the champion and winning.
Well, you see, I'm looking over the rest of this card, and there's a certain wrestler that's not been booked. He's a certain GM at the PCW as well, Dave Rain.
Yeah, but Dave Rain's at a Comic-Con that weekend.
Yeah, that's the weekend, though, isn't it? It could also be...
He's not there. He's actually said he's not there, and Joanna Rose is the GM for the night.
Right, oh God. So that means there's going to be all sorts of clusterfuckery, I can think. But I'm thinking that Leston Rees is going to go over in this match. The reason being, and the only reason being I would say this, is that Leston Rees is a new champ and they want to establish him as a top guy in that company. So I would say Chris Masters is going to let him go over.
Yeah.
Nice reasoning there, Darren.
Yeah.
To be fair, if you can't argue. Yeah.
Just less words.
Fair play. Shall we move on to the next match then? We've got Joey Hayes and Martin Kirby versus Adam Rose of ex-WWE fame and a mystery partner.
Is this just going to be for a normal match, or is it? It's not a title match, is it?
I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's a title match.
I'm thinking about it. That they could win, Joey Hayes and Martin Kirby win, but then he got absolutely trashed by Team Single because they would be pissed that they lost 3 years in running when it's something.
You see, I don't know. I've put down that there's another import coming in to replace, because obviously Joey Ryan was supposed to be here.
Yeah.
But he's not coming, so I don't understand why it is, and apparently it's legitimate reasons. So obviously he's going to replace him with somebody else. So I think it's going to be another import.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm thinking it's going to be Mr. Anderson. Because he's on good terms, isn't he? So
yeah, is he even here though?
Well, this is it. It might be, it might not be. If not, I remember you shout. Was it you that said it would be the bunny? Which could mean it could be any fucker. It could be any fucker out. It could be any fucker out of the academy then, basically. So yeah, but I've put down Kirby and Hayes going to go and win this.
I put the bunny just because I didn't.
What's that, mate?
I wonder if it's our friend Lewis.
He'll be working the show, no doubt.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lewis Ogden there. Signed up recently to the academy, and wish all the success to him. Hope to see him on a show one day. Next match on the card is Ashton Smith versus the Reaper. Now, the Reaper is usually a wrestler, usually an import, in disguise.
We've had some really good Reapers over the years.
Yeah.
UR Nation, now known as Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
And
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson last year when he was tagging with Viper.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, he was dressed as Super Mario underneath the Reaper costume.
There's a lot of talk of Wade Barrett because they say Wade Barrett is like, Preston boy. He's on the indie scene. He's not in the indie scene yet, and
it makes sense. I would imagine he's obviously his home city, want to at least wrestle there fairly soon after his release. But like I say, what gives it away for me is the announcement on Facebook when Fludder put, and I quote, Ashton Smith is in for some bad news as he goes up against the Reaper.
Yeah.
So that gives it away a bit to me.
I've put, and I may change this on the thing.
Well, you've got till 5 o'clock on Friday night.
I think I've put, it's not edited. I was just about to look at it. I've got on it Wade Barrett. I have got Wade Barrett, but I did change it. I remember changing it. It's probably not changed it. I thought it was Madman Manson.
Yeah, maybe it's a one-off, perhaps.
He's not done. Hashtag Bring Back Manson. He's not done the UK tour thing this year, and that's what they're saying they're doing.
Possibly then, you never know. Well, put down the Reaper to win anyway, because it would be Wade Barrett for me. Yeah. So, next matchup on the card, El Ligero versus Kenny Williams. That'll be a fucking great match. Any Ligero match is amazing.
Kenny Williams is good, but Ligero,
yeah, the hardest working guy on the British wrestling scene is El Ligero. If there's a Butlins, he's wrestled in it.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure there's more than one now, Ligero.
There fucking must be, because he does about 4 shows a day.
No, there isn't. He's amazing work. I've seen him numerous times now, and I've got to say he's one of my favourite wrestlers for his hard working and intensity, and it's just making sure you enjoy the show. And
yeah, he's a top guy. He's
what wrestling's part about.
He's got a lot of time for his fans as well. I'll give him that, definitely. I can't remember if I put Kenny Williams or Ligero to him. Put one of them down anyway.
You put Williams.
Ligero's in his matches. I tend to find it 50-50 whether he wins or loses in his matches. So just one of them.
Wait, there's no 6-man match, 6-way match. It's a classic PCW match.
Oh, don't worry. One of these could have happened. That could change quite easy. That's easy done. Next on the card, I've written down Bubblegum versus Chris Ridgway. Cracking match coming up. This is for the Cruiser belt.
I would go for Bubblegum because he's very high on early on his face days, and Ridgway's new to to PCW, so I'll have to go for Bubblegum because he's on.
Yeah, he's a cracking wrestler, he's Bubblegum. Chris Ridgway is as well. I've seen him a few times before he got to PCW. We saw him at FCW twice. We've seen him at it was Paid Promotions, wasn't it, Alan?
It was.
Yeah, we saw him there. He's a cracking wrestler. Now he's, like I say, obviously he's still wrestling at Is he wrestling at Alpha Omega?
He is, yeah.
So he wrestles there as well. He's wrestling at PCW now for near enough every show. And you think it's about time he wrestled at PCW, personally. He's a big cracking wrestler. Absolutely cracking wrestler. As for this match, though, I do see Bubblegum going over. Simple as that. Yeah. So next matchup we have Team Single versus Blue Zone. This is going to be your comedy match of the night.
Why? Because you're going to just see a Team Single destroy Blue Zone.
Yeah, it's going to be a squash. Yeah, it's going to be a squash. It's going to be ugly, and it's going to be fucking hilarious. Seeing Rampage Brown smash things is always fun. Always fun.
Such a nice guy, though.
He is a proper nice guy. So's T-Bone.
I've yet to meet T-Bone. I've seen him,
I've seen him briefly.
I've seen him, and he's hilarious, and all. He just come out with funny things and all that. But I've yet to actually meet him.
I've exchanged a couple of words with him. I can't exactly say that I've actually met him and had a good chat, but from the brief experience I've had with T-Bone, proper nice fella. So can't fault him. Next matchup on the card is Hooligans versus Mystery Opponents. Now, I've put down for the mystery opponent is Jack Garvin and Jack Barron. But someone made a good point on the Prediction League saying it could be the London Riots. Now, that would make sense.
Yes. That would be a smash of a match. I mean, I think they faced each other a few times before. London Riots.
Yeah, that would make sense. Because they've got like an ongoing feud, haven't they, with the Firm? So...
yeah.
So that would make sense. I put Hooligans down to win. So we shall see. Also, last card on the last match on the card. Even get my words out. It's Philip Michael versus Dave Birch. It's 2 Academy guys, basically. This will be the kick-off match, I assume.
Well, either way, they are. I mean, I've seen them a few times, and they've got some stuff. A big shout out to all the Academy members.
Agreed.
I mean,
if you're a budding wrestler and you want to, get taught by the best, I'd get yourself down to the PCW Academy, because from what I've seen, the facilities they've got, the wrestlers they've got, they could easily fill a show worthy of the main roster just off the Academy guys.
They are filling a show. December 16th, I do believe, a free show as well.
Yeah, a free show at Evoke. Yeah, so hopefully
December 16th, I think it is.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to go there. Tell you what, though, while we're on the PCW sort of topic, there's something I want to do, and this is unannounced to you guys as well, is that we're going to be doing some live shows. We will be doing some live shows at the PCW shows in November. Possibly on the Manchester show on the way back on the train, if you fancy that, Darren.
Yes.
But I'm also thinking of possibly doing some shows, in between shows obviously PCW have a November Super Show, which is co-hosted with CZW, WXW, and Beyond Wrestling. Now, they do 3 shows over 2 days, so I'm thinking possibly we could do a couple of shows just recapping what we've just seen.
Yes.
So, if you guys think that's possibly something So if you guys think that's something we should do, let us know on Facebook, and we'll gladly do it. Speaking of keeping on the wrestling theme, we'll move on to our listener questions if you want, guys.
Yeah.
Are you there, Alan, still? Are we snoring or are we awake?
Oh, I'm still here.
Alan, just for the record, Alan's playing with Pussy at the minute.
Didn't he save a pussy recently?
Yeah, he did save a pussy recently.
I'm on the phone having a fag.
He's on the phone having a fag, but he was playing with Pussy before. He had a kitten on his chest, basically. But you've been a cat saviour this week, haven't you?
Yeah, one of the kittens was found more or less dead the other day. So coaxed it back to life, and now it won't leave me alone.
Yeah, he didn't do CPR on it.
Just basically got nutrients down her throat. So all is good.
What kind of nutrients were they?
Milk, you sick fuck.
What? I was asking a simple question.
Just asking it a simple question and it's been downright filthy.
No, you thought that was a filthy thing. I didn't. I did. Not being a cat enthusiast, I don't know what.
I certainly did. But anyway, we'll go on to the list of the questions. Now, obviously, shout-outs to the guys who sent us these questions. First off, we'll start off with a nice, like I say, keeping with the wrestling theme in a way. Sandwiched in between, sandwiching a bit of pussy. John Searle asks us, what Apparently, you guys have heard of the World of Sport TV pilot that's coming up.
Yes.
It's a one-off wrestling show. Now, apparently, we had a conversation on Facebook before, but obviously I'm going to keep them details hush-hush for now, for a later show, because we might have some, if I ask him nicely, he might come on the show to actually talk about his experience of the pilot. But apparently there was 80,000 emails requesting tickets for the new World of Sport TV pilot. And I want to know what your thoughts of that are, whether you think their numbers are correct or not. I'm assuming you're still thinking.
I am. I don't know.
Way I see it, 80,000 is a hell of a lot. I mean, if you said to me 80,000 people went to independent wrestling shows in the UK, I'd be calling bullshit.
Right. Whereabouts are they having it?
I'm not sure. I think it's in Leeds, somewhere around there.
80,000 for me seems like pretty much a football attendance.
It's more than a football. Yeah, it's just about. It's a little bit higher, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing about that is, as well, it's not only that, but information that we've been told is that they were giving them away from non-wrestling fans from things like Judge Rinder to the audience, Judge Rinder and things like that.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yes.
So what I think is, if it's 80,000 emails requested, I think it may be a bit too high. Half it, possibly. Yeah. And obviously,
it sounds like bullshit to me.
It does. I think it's bullshit. The 80,000 emails number does sound like shite. I, for me, just think it's just trying to create hype. Now, if they've been giving tickets away to non-wrestling fans, now I think that's a massive mistake. What they should have been doing is advertising these tickets on Facebook, on wrestling groups, on the UK fan forum, things like that, handing flyers out at wrestling shows, getting wrestling fans in the building. Not bog standard people that turn up to fucking Jeremy Kyle because they want to see somebody talking about,
That's how,
I have 3 dads, which one's the real one?
UK wrestling shows do it. I've seen various wrestling shows turn up at WWE shows or TNA shows, which are big in America, and they go, right, here's a flyer, here's a flyer, come and see this, here's a flyer, here, come see this.
That's the way it should be, though. Like I say, you're going for the wrong demographic. Now, they're going to turn around, and what they're going to do? They're going to pipe in crowd noise. People are going to be sitting there, it's a wrestling show. Oh, it's going to be like, the fucking, look at us, American wrestling. Oh, look, it's British Kane and British Undertaker. You know what I mean? It's Butlins shit. When in reality, that's not what British wrestling is nowadays. Now, it's all about... Well, it's just basically the American style, what we have now. It's just with a British sort of sense of humour to it.
Yeah.
In a way. I mean, I've seen some of the guys that are on it who've been booked, and I think to myself, well, to be honest with you, you're not really worthy of showcasing what British wrestling, is all about. And you've got guys like Bubblegum, who are world-class cruiserweight wrestlers. And I'll be honest with you, it's a fucking crime that this guy has not gone over to do the CWC and is currently not wrestling on Monday Night Raw. Never mind not getting onto World of Sport. Right?
Well, you just got to think, maybe they've seen him and gone, well, he's good, but we'll keep him for next time. Or, they can't always have great straight away. But
the idea of this being a one-off is to showcase exactly what the best of British wrestling is and what the future of British wrestling is going to be. You don't put your best in reserve. It's basically advertising, look, let's get the fucking audience in, and if there's a big enough audience that's interested in it, we'll do a fucking full show of it.
Yeah.
You don't put your best talent in reserve.
I don't think
if that's what you're trying to do. When you got the likes of fucking Danny Hope who's in there, whose whole fucking career is based on shaking his hips. Now, don't get me wrong, he could be a nice fella. But in terms of wrestling skill, you're telling me he's in place and Bubblegum isn't?
Yeah.
There's something wrong with that.
You like Bubblegum, but there's going to be a lot of people that don't like his style. And it's not just Bubblegum. I mean, it's other wrestlers as well. It's the case of people like, let's point in case, Eva Marie. There's a lot of people that hate Eva Marie's wrestling style, but there's a lot of other people that do like her.
Yeah, that'll be through the reality TV side of things, which the thing is what we don't have. Now, how are people going to know how good a guy people like Bubblegum are without being able to see them? Do you know what I mean? If you got talent like who comes up, he walks around the ring a bit, shakes his tail, does a Hulk Hogan Hulk up, and that's it. That's his repertoire. The odd super kick here or there. Whereas you get Bubblegum that can do all that and do a shooting star press and do all the other ground stuff. Absolutely everything. And then it's a crime, in my opinion. It's a crime. Who do you think's actually behind it? Who's booking it? Who's working behind the scenes?
I don't know.
I've got a couple of names. I'm thinking it could be Alex Shane.
Maybe.
I think it's somebody like that.
There is a rumour knocking around. They've got a couple of scouters from WWE who's come over to help set it up.
See, that would be giving them competition.
Not really. They're using it. They could use it as a jump start into the American scene.
I don't know. I'm not sure on that one. Anyway, I think, like I say, let's close out on that question. The World of Sport idea is a cracking one, but they need to bring the right guys in and have the right fans in. Otherwise, it's going to fall flat on its arse. That's my opinion. If you've not got the right fans in, we're not making a noise, it's going to sound like shit, and people are going to think, oh, why would I give a fuck if they don't? Do you know what I mean? If you're giving them away at tickets at Jeremy Kyle and Tipping Point, rather than giving them going out to shows like at Tidal, like at Target, like at PCW, like at Progress,
ICW,
anywhere. Hand these flyers out at wrestling shows. Get your wrestling fans in, not fucking Jeremy Kyle fans, not fucking Judge Rinder fans.
That has really, it's strange. I mean, you don't go to a football match and hand out, Justin Bieber tickets, do you?
No, this is it. It's stupid. I know, they're remaking Supermarket Sweep. Let's flog these wrestling tickets there. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that, John Searle. I think it's potentially a great idea. You've got to have the right talent book, though, and you've got to have the right fans in. Otherwise, it's going to fall flat on its arse, and we're going to, British wrestling will take a step back, personally. In the mainstream's eyes, sort of things. It'll go back to being a backyard... No, not backyard, shall I say. It'll go back to being a niche thing. Not back... Well, it used to be in the 80s, where it used to dominate primetime TV. Which is where... I'm assuming that's the target for British wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on that note, we'll move on to Daz's question that he left us. And that is, what radio... So go on, mate.
It's just from someone that didn't want to be named. He just asked me to put the question up for... Oh,
so it's a mystery man.
Yes, yeah.
Mystery man has requested what we answer.
So Phil.
Mystery person. It was a mystery person.
It's Phil. Right, so... did he ask it from below the ground?
It was a bit below the ground.
Oh, yes. Right, okay. So, if you was to be bitten by a radioactive animal that gave you superpowers, what one would you want to have by you? I'll start with you, Alan.
None.
If you had no choice,
you want to be bitten something that's radioactive.
When it gave you superpowers, it didn't do you any harm.
They do now. Yeah, have you ever been bitten by anything?
Yes, I have a child.
Right.
Comic
book stars, Spider-Man, all that kind of thing. They all get their powers by, getting bit by something like that, and they're just,
Well, I'll tell you what then, Darren, you lead the way. You tell us what you think.
Well, I was just like, what do you want to be bit by, or how, if you was going to say, oh, look, you get bit by a flea, you could jump 26 feet in the air and all this kind of stuff, or bit by, it was just because I was talking to a friend about superpowers and everything, and it just came up.
No, I'd want to be bitten by a radioactive horse so I could have a 2-foot long penis.
Yeah, but then the rest of you is right size, so dragging it along with it, and then actually using the penis is Hey,
if it hurts them, it's not my fucking problem, is it?
Wouldn't it hurt him? It'd kill him at 2 foot. It'd kill him.
You don't put the whole thing in, just as much as it can take.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. It's not cheating then, just the tip.
That's your sex tape right there. Sex tape name right there. Just the tip.
Well, you needed a name for that title, didn't you, Darren?
I did, yeah. It's coming to all good retailers by you. There are other sex tapes available.
Just the tip, with Paul the Hat Guy Flinders, wearing his penis mask with a cowboy hat on.
He did wear his 2013 hat that he got given at the Hall of Fame. Oh, wait, you're not funny.
You two haven't answered yet.
I don't know. Bitten by a blue whale.
A blue whale. Funny enough, a blue whale does not know he's blue. He's colourblind.
Wow, that's great input then, Daz.
Right. Says you. Said, blue whale. Why blue whale?
Why blue whale? Biggest cock in the world.
So
you are anyway, Alan.
Dick in the world.
No, he's got the biggest dick in the world, but he is generally the biggest cock in the world. The fucking blue whale. It takes no shit. It turns up and goes, I'm eating all your food, fuck you.
Darren wants to be bit by a honey badger.
No.
A cow.
Chameleon?
A chameleon?
No, yes.
Please tell me so you can sing Boy George, come.
Yeah, well, that would be my second guess, but then,
That'd be your theme tune.
He just wants to sneak into ladies' dressing rooms.
No, is that going to be
theme? I don't want to, I do. Just to let people know, I sneak into men's dressing rooms as well. I don't want to offend anyone.
He's not gender specific. We're all PC in this country. On this podcast, we're PC. Oh, we fuck.
We're Mac as well. We're Mac friendly as well.
Oh dear. We'll move on. Coxey's left us a few little topics for us, so thanks for that, Coxey. First one, do we remember when Oasis came in glass bottles, as the pleb who runs their Twitter doesn't?
Really?
Really?
That was like late 90s, early 2000s.
It was early 2000s. I remember the Oasis being still available in glass bottles.
I don't actually.
Really?
No.
I remember
the Orangina, but
Orangina still comes in glass bottles. Orangina still does come in glass bottles. Who's printing?
Sorry.
He's printing a picture.
He's printed a picture of a glass Oasis bottle right now so he can prove it.
No.
But yeah, I remember Oasis bottles quite vividly because some twat decided to put one in my letterbox one day and I opened the door and it smashed right in front of me on my doorstep. Cunts. But yeah, it did used to come in glass bottles, didn't it, when it first came out? And I remember the advert that came out with, in the mid-90s. Do you remember Mystic Meg?
Yeah, oh God. Yeah.
That advert, yeah. Yeah, that was, yeah. We'll move on anyway. Favourite Halloween-related movies?
Halloween-related movies?
Yeah. So I'm assuming horror movies.
Does it actually have to be about Halloween?
I see Halloween or a horror movie you would watch on Halloween.
Oh, fucking hell. Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, yeah. Gotta be. It's one of them.
Night of the Dead. Night of the Dead. Yeah,
I'd say something like Dawn of the Dead or something like that.
It's a Rodrigo movie.
Yeah, something like that. Or
28 Days and 28 Weeks Later.
If you're talking proper horror movies, I'm not the biggest fan of horror movies as such, but something like, I don't know. I don't mind the first Hostel movie. I don't mind that. And the first Saw movie was alright. After that, it just got a bit samey, a bit of just gore porn.
There is one film I refuse point blank to watch ever again, and that's Event Horizon. The whole eye gouging thing. No, thank you.
Oh dear.
Well, this must be what? Fucking how old was I then? About 14, 15. And it's Halloween. We've just come back, taking brother and sister trick or treating, and they're only little then. And I turned on the TV. Mum and Dad were in bed, so watching TV downstairs. And The Ring, but the Japanese version, the proper original version.
Oh, nice.
I have never shat bricks that much in my life, ever. And still to this day, it is one of my greatest all-time films. That film is absolutely fantastic. Just don't watch it on your own.
I'll tell you one thing you need to watch. I don't know if you've ever played it either. I know it's not strictly movie-based, but because I never played it before it got cancelled, I never really saw it, so I only watched it on... You watch it, if you're going to watch it, go to YouTube and look up for a YouTube channel called Game Grumps. Now, are you guys familiar with the demo that came out for the new Silent Hill game that got canned called PT?
Yeah.
Now watch that. That actually genuinely did make me jump, and I was just watching it.
Now see, games that you wouldn't want to play on Halloween.
Dead Space is pretty jumpy for me, but it's more jump scares than anything psychological.
Fear.
Yeah.
I've never played Fear. It's always a game I've wanted to play, though.
That game's so not right.
I'll be partaking in it. So obviously,
one thing I will say is, for me, movie would be Adam's Family Values. It's a good, it's a comedy, dark comedy film, and it's supernatural and all. It's quite funny. I mean, it's the Adam's Family, but really cool.
If you're going to watch a comedy horror sort of thing, which is sort of still got a bit of a dark side to it.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't say, for example, Shaun of the Dead's got a dark side to it.
No.
What about Black Sheep?
Yeah, that's a great film.
Exactly. I think that would be a pretty good one. I think if you...
Or Lesbian Vampire Hunters, whatever it was.
Oh, yes. Yes, with James Corden.
That was in the pound shop the other day and I nearly picked it up.
You should have done it.
That's going in there.
But at the same time...
Let's go in the Christmas crap sack.
Let's go in the Christmas crap sack. Wait. If I hire someone for £1 in Poundland to buy £4 worth of gifts, does that still count?
No, because you haven't bought the crap sack itself.
I'm too lazy. What happens if I do it on poundland.com?
It's still Poundland, as long as it comes from Poundland or Pound World.
Or Mr. Pound. Or anything to do with pounding.
Yeah, as long as you can prove it was a pound, I suppose. I suppose you could. And none of that cheating where you can buy £5 worth of Hot Wheels cars from Poundland.
What? You could buy
5 different Hot Wheels cars.
What,
you can, yeah, but you can't buy the multi-pack.
Where?
At Poundland.
Right. I'll see you later, guys.
We'll move on then. So, Yeah, the Halloween-related movies thing. I'd say, like I said, I'd say what I would do at Halloween-related movies, I'd watch one serious one and one comedy one. And my serious sort of...
Freaks. That film is so bad, it's great.
So what I would choose is probably, for my serious sort of one, because I'm not the biggest fan of horror movies, if I'm honest. I'd probably pick something like Hostel or Saw 1, and then go on to something like Shaun of the Dead. Something like that.
Yeah.
That's my choice. What would you guys pick?
What?
Shaun of the Dead.
For your film, yeah. For your favourite Halloween-related movies or horror movies.
Oh, I'm going to have to do 28 days and 28 weeks later, followed by something stupid. A really stupid B-movie.
See, 28 Days Later, I didn't even think of that. 28 Days Later. It's a cracking film. 28 weeks later.
6 chords, that tune they use. That tune is fantastic.
Yeah. It's a cracking film. What about you, Darren?
Well, I'm not a big horror fan, to be honest with you. So I don't really watch them, but I've watched all the comedy things. I mean, Shaun of the Dead, brilliant. Simon Pegg's in it, Nick Frost. Superb. Andrew and Family Values, yeah. So those two, yeah.
Fair play. Like I say, it's your favourite. At the end of the day, there's no right answer. Standard kebab order.
Oh, that's simple. It's going to have to be mixed kebab with everything on it, with garlic mayonnaise.
Fair play. What about you, Darren?
Am I drunk when ordering a kebab?
Tell you what, order one sober and order one drunk.
Both.
Right, when I'm sober, I go for a pizza, because I don't eat kebab when I'm sober. When I'm drunk, it's a kebab, chips, extra sauce, and end up not eating it because I end up falling asleep.
Face plants it. Can't say I've done that. Come close. Never said it. Can't say I've done that. My personal one, good job I don't either, if I'm brutally honest, because my standard one is you got to go large. It's got to be a large kebab.
Yeah.
It's got to have chili sauce on it, and it's got to have no Stanley Park on it. So
I like it with salad, but if you're going to order a kebab anywhere, right, and if we do get people outside of Blackpool listening to this, when you come to Blackpool, you go to Michael's.
Yes.
Michael's is possibly the most insane kebab shop ever.
Yeah, it comes in a kebab. You order a large kebab, I'd reinforce your table.
For
that's the one.
So it's $6.95 or something like that, and you can feed a family of 8 on it quite easily.
Easy, and Alan is not shitting you on that one. It is huge, absolutely huge. I'm looking at my laptop now, and it would actually be longer than the width of my laptop. This kebab, it's ridiculous how big this kebab is. You could actually probably roll it up and beat someone to death with it. It's that big. You know, with what I would, if you had my order and put chili sauce in it would be brutal.
Just remind me. There's I used to really like kebab wraps, and I don't like wraps really.
Yeah, I've had kebab wrap before.
I used to really like them.
See what are insanely nice, and they have no right to be. Have you ever had a doner bun?
Oh yeah.
They have no right to be nice, but they are. It's like a burger on a budget. They're really nice.
Back in the days of the old Tash, you used to go to the Tash, get absolutely smashed, walk out and go to SFC and go and pick a doner bun for £1.
Yeah, you still can in some places. You wouldn't want to buy them, but you can still get them for £1.
Wake up next morning feeling, why the hell does my stomach feel like it's been raped from the inside out?
That's exactly it. That's the problem with doner kebabs. It's the day after. It's the farts that come with them.
In fact, if you're drunk as well, especially most times, you're not sure whether you're hungover or the fact that you've got really bad pain to stomach.
Fucking stomach upset.
So you're not sure if you've eaten too much the night before or that you've had too much to drink.
It's always the latter. It's always the former for me. It's always the doner kebab that's always knocked 7 shades of shit out of me, quite literally. So, it's that morning after. You need your house fumigating. It's that bad. There must be other people that suffer from. I don't know why I do it myself. Do it to myself every time I go to get a kebab. I always end. It's horrible. It's like someone's put an electric whisk into my stomach the next morning. But at the night time, it's the greatest thing in the world. It's the most satisfying meal. KFC, fuck that off. Fuck McDonald's off. Fuck Burger King off. No, I've got to have this doner kebab with chili sauce on.
Yeah.
And it kills me the day after. Absolutely just renders me. It renders me asunder. It renders me toilet asunder as well. So, yeah, happy joy. We'll go on to the next one. Same sort of food, like subject. Your favourite chippy in Blackpool? Start with Darren on this one.
Oh, well, I don't know. I've got a lot of Yorkshire Fisheries in Iceland. Uptown
in Iceland? Fucking hell, you go far, huh? Jesus Christ.
No. My favourite chippy is not... I mean, I've got a few, but my best one that I remember I've never had a bad thing off them is Yorkshire Fisheries in town, near the old Tash.
Topping Street.
Yeah, that's right.
Street, yes.
Across the road from the
Washington.
That's the one.
Never had been hungover and then someone go, I'll get a chippy from there, it'll cure you. And I kid you not, it cured me. I was like, an hour too late, I was like, oh yes, this is amazing. Can't move, but this is amazing.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you on that one. Yorkshire Fisheries. I used to do, I had the best ever work experience there.
Yeah.
And I don't mean Yorkshire Fisheries. I did my work experience at an estate agent's that's not there anymore. It's now a pet shop. It's now called. It was called Harry Sutcliffe's Estate Agents.
Yeah.
And basically my work experience was doing dead filing, which I enjoyed doing, and then going around with the owner of the business and measuring up bungalows and houses with lasers. It was fucking amazing. Whereas Alan knows him. We'll call him Sheep. You'll know who I'm on about.
Yeah.
His work experience was working in the old pet shop that burnt down with Yateses, shoveling shit out of cages. So, and I got basically sitting on my arse with brews that I had, all the brews I could drink, across the road, Yorkshire Fisheries for dinner every day. It was fucking amazing. At the end of it all, I got 40 quid and no one else got paid for their work experience.
Still doesn't beat my work experience. I met the Queen.
That's all right.
I did air traffic control at Blackpool Airport.
Nice.
And the Queen came down at Blackpool Airport to go and visit the Earl of Essex. So the Earl of Wessex, which is quite weird since he lives in Lancashire. It's weird. So, yeah, it was like, all right, so she came down the plane because I was being taught how to direct an aircraft in. She shook her hand. Well, she didn't shook her hand, but she said, thank you very much. I assume you're too young to do this because I was like, no, ma'am, I'm a work experience. And, yeah, that was good.
Fair dues. What was your work experience, Darren?
I worked at a supermarket.
Hey!
It begins with M. We'll not mention the name. A supermarket that begins with M.
McDonald's.
It's not a supermarket.
Depends.
But anyway, yeah, and that was it.
All right, fair dues.
I did meet one of the royal family many years later, working in another job. Prince William. I met him, and I will say is fact that all his group came off the ride, one of the rides I was working on, and he walked back and said, "Thank you very much, guys. That was enjoyable," and walked off. And didn't need to do that or nothing like that, but he came back and said, "Thank you very much" to us.
The closest I've been to Prince William is when he flew over my head in a helicopter. He was doing the, obviously when he was working for the Navy, he was doing the work, the search and rescue.
Yeah.
And there was someone in the Irish Sea, and he flew over. I was working, I think it was 2:00 in the morning. He flew over the hotel. It was the closest I ever got to a fucking member of the royal family. So I've never met any of the royal family, but can't say my life's any poorer for it. We'll move on to our last listener question. For or against trams going up Talbot Road?
Against.
Not fuss.
Not fuss, but you're against.
Against. I'll tell you why I'm against. Right?
Why?
They've only just sorted out around Blackpool North. Right? It is going to be an absolute freaking nightmare, and with the knock-on as it is with Crossley's Bridge being off, traffic shit as it is. Now, I'm on a motorbike, right, and I work the arse end of the town centre near Central Pier. Right? So you try coming from the north end of Blackpool to get through all that to get to Reflex. It is not happening.
Well, the thing...
Ball Lake.
Well, the work's going to be not going ahead for a couple of years yet, so Crossley's Bridge will be finished by then. Guys who don't know what Crossley's Bridge is, it's one of the bridges that goes over the railway that goes from Preston to Blackpool North. Now, what they're doing is they're electrifying the line so that the new Virgin Pendolino trains can come in and we can get a direct link to London, because at the moment we don't have one. But I think that the tram work's not going to start until that's finished. Yeah. So, but what I see, people have been saying, taxi drivers have been saying, oh, it's going to cause disruption, it's going to cause delays when it goes down, the trams are going to be in the way. Bullshit, buses go up that way. And they do exactly the same.
Someone said that trains, I've read somewhere that trains to Preston are going to be stopping in January.
They're going to be affected. They're going to be putting on replacement bus services every now and again. But it's going to fuck us for Preston.
It's 3.5 months with no train service to Blackpool.
Yeah, but it's out of season. That's why they're doing it then.
Yeah.
So if we're going to Preston, it's going to be on the number 68 bus, my friend.
No, it's not.
Or a replacement bus service from the train station.
No, it's not. I got a brum bike, haven't I?
Yeah, you try fitting 4 lads on it. Good luck.
Have you seen India?
Fuck India.
Have you seen 2 of us?
Yeah, you will fall off.
It'll work.
You will fall off.
But do we get beers? Do we get Alan's bike beers?
Be interesting.
That could be interesting. That's the mission. Don't get pulled over.
For that.
But to be honest with you, like I say, going back to the question, I am for the trams going up Talbot Road. It'll make it easier for people coming off the train to get to either North or South Promenade, if that's where their hotels are. Now, I'd say 99% of the hotels in Blackpool are on or near the Blackpool seafront, which would make it a hell of a lot easier for people to get, like I say, access their hotel straight off the train. And it's not going to directly link up to the new bit that they've already done outside the Blackpool North train station, because what they're doing is they're knocking down Wilkinson's and building that into a tram hub. Now, what will happen is that tunnel that is already existing with the road that goes over, that will link up into the tram station. So it's not going to actually rip up any of the existing road routes that are there, if that makes sense.
And also, it's going right past to the drinking hub of Blackpool.
Yeah, it's going to go round. I think it's going to go round Aberdeen Street, I think.
So you're going to have a lot of accidents with drunken morons.
Well, you have that anyway. I'm not being funny, but there's enough traffic going down that way anyway. If there was going to be a lot of accidents, you'd have that anyway. Oh.
Sorry about that.
Is that my bullshit alarm going off?
Bullshit.
That was bullshit.
But yeah, I'm for it anyway. I can say for them reasons, it's gonna save time for holidaymakers getting in and out. You know, get into their hotels. It's they're not going to get ripped off. Yeah, they've got a pair of feet. It's either a pair of feet, get yourself down there, which, if you've got 4 or 5 cases and you've got a family, that can be an absolute utter ball ache. But if you've only got to hop on a tram, that makes it infinitely easier. And not necessarily saying, the taxi, you might not be able to fit everything into a taxi.
The taxi drivers are going to be well pissed off that.
Yeah, but it's not going to be for everybody. It's not going to be for everybody, though. The taxi drivers are still going to get their business from the locals that come into town that want to go home, like ourselves when we come back in from Preston.
Yeah, but how many people do that?
There's more than you think. I'd say at least a half. A half will be locals coming back, doing whatever. Especially in winter.
Yeah.
But it's like I say, it's one of them. I'm for it anyway. I can see why there possibly are going to be some negative sides. There is going to be a little bit of disruption as they lay the tracks down. But it's not like they've got to rip up the entire road to do it. So they can still have access to part of the road to do it. So obviously it's going to be a contraflow, but it's still going to be running, maybe not smoothly, but it will be running. That's my opinion on it anyway, But anyway, I think we've... have you guys anything you want to talk about before we close the show?
No, that's it.
Right, you, Darren? All done?
Well, I just want to... right. I don't know if you've seen this on Facebook today, but there was apparently this girl got a tattoo on her face because of a boyfriend asked her to.
Oh,
I've
seen the link for it, but I never went on it. I never read the story.
Just looking at it now, and I'm just like thinking to myself, whenever do you get tattoos on your face? Never.
I've seen people do it, and this is not against people that do get them that don't do it. So if you have got a face tattoo and this doesn't really reflect what you do, then I apologise already. But when I say face tattoos, I think smackhead. Yeah. I automatically think smackhead. I could be wrong, but I automatically think smackhead.
Well, yeah. Apparently, this story is that she got a tattoo of his name above her eyebrows because she wanted to keep going out with him. And I was like, what the fuck? Apparently he's done it. He's got a tattoo of, apparently he's on 39 people, girls. And they've been on Jeremy Kyle, and I'm just like, whoa, what the
fuck's
fuck?
Sake. But here's a question for you then, while we're on the subject of tattoos. Would you get your partner's name tattooed on your body?
No.
No.
No, why wouldn't you?
Because it's a curse.
Yes.
You see, I wouldn't put anything on my body that I would think potentially could change.
Exactly.
For example, your partner, you could be married to them for 10 years, but that's not a guarantee that something irreversible between yourself and your partner might come up. Now, obviously, that's obviously you put that person's name on your arm or wherever, and you end up leaving them. That's like shit. That's crap. What the fuck have I done? But if, for example, your children, that's a different matter altogether because your children are your children regardless.
Only ever be children. The only time you ever get tattoos of your children or of your own
names,
your name even. Because I know a lot of people that have got a tattoo on their body of like their name or and stuff.
Yeah, you don't put partners' names on.
I have 4 tattoos. I have my scorpion. I've got my mother because my mum's the only woman that will never break my heart.
Yeah.
Parents, it's a head freeze whites over my heart, and I've got the kids' nicknames on my arms.
Yeah, that's how I think it should be. You don't put, like I say, your partner's name on your body because, like I say, my brother's done it. He's an absolute cockend. He's got Gemma
with him for years. Yeah,
he's got the word Gemma on his arm with roses around it. He's been with this girl Sophie now for 4 years.
Oh,
I bet that went down well.
That's the point.
You know, so yeah, it's just something you don't do. It's like stamping your property, like he's done with that girl, making her put his name on her face. It's stamping property, and nobody should be anyone's property.
No.
Do you know what I mean? No, not for me. Get stuff that you like, bands that you like, shows that you like, you know, things like that. You know, designs that you like. Don't put somebody's fucking name on that's your partner unless you know for a fact they're going to be around for life.
Even if, say, for instance, you know, you've known that person, and you've been going out that person, for instance, say, 60 years, you still wouldn't do it. You still wouldn't get a tattoo of someone you would say you've been with for 60 years. It just would be unbelievable, because even if you're that strong, you're still not going to be tattoos, for me, I don't know.
See, that's the anomaly in it, because if you've been together 60 years, more than likely you're going to be in your 80s, so it's not going to be an issue anyway, but...
Yeah, because you can't see it.
Yeah, but... Yeah, but you can't see it.
No, you can't.
You hide it with your wrinkles.
Yeah.
But, I'm talking more towards people who are in, like, the early 20s, going into the 40s. That sort of thing. So basically our age group. And, like, you don't do it. Just don't do it, because you don't know if you're going to be with that said person for, you know, even in your 40s now, you could be living for another 40 years more. Yeah. And if you get a tattoo with somebody who you've just got with, and all of a sudden 6 weeks later, oh, they're a cheating bastard, and you've got them to come on Jeremy Kyle, and you've got this stupid fucking dumbass tattoo across your chest with their name on, you're stuck with that unless you get a cover-up. And then a lot of cover-ups look like shite, so you've ruined your body with somebody's name that you might not be with permanently. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you're going to do it with somebody, like I say, that you know for a fact is going to be in your life and going to be in your family for the rest of your life, and they're going to be there regardless. Like your immediate family. I think that's all I can say on that.
Okay.
I've got nothing else to add. Anything else you want to add, guys?
No.
Right.
Yeah, all good.
Right, so we'll just do the plugs then, and we'll get the fuck out of here. You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/UKRAD podcast. You can find us on YouTube. I tried to find the link, and it's all sorts of dodgy letters, so just search for us on YouTube, and you will find us. You can find us on Twitter at UKRAD podcast. Our friends at The Lost Art of Podcasting, you can find them at www.facebook.com/Lost Art of Podcasting. You can find them on Spreaker, www.spreaker.com/user/Lost Art of Podcasting. Find them on Twitter at Lost Art Podcast. You can also find them on Stitcher. You can find them on iTunes, and basically most places you can find good podcasts. Also our sponsor, www.avantgarde-security.co.uk. He specialise in static security and CCTV. So if you want your home feel a little bit more secure, get yourself down to avantgarde-security.co.uk and have a look there. Just make some inquiries. Right, thanks a lot, guys, for tonight. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Right, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on the RAD podcast. I've been Paul the Hat Guy Flinders.
I've been Al Morrison.
I've been Darren.
And we'll see, like I've just said and repeating my words, we'll see you next time on the RAD podcast. Thank you and good night.